beautiful dusting technique you got this morning, Millie.
I take pride in me work, Sneezy Pete.
Don't call me Sneezy Pete.
Bless you.
Cow.
Jambalaya.
Bless you, miss.
Thank you, child. But it's 13 across.
Must you do this every morning, Fielma?
Crosswords are a great way of preventing Alzheimer's, Stanley.
Keeps the brain ticking. Achoo!
Not when you're doing the exact same crossword each day and beginning to lose track of how many mornings now feature jambalaya. Forget Alzheimer's, it's bloody Groundhog Day.
Nonsense, husband of mine. The day I forget the answers is the day my memory has gone to putty.
Well, there's no need to do it out loud. The rest of us will leave Alzheimer's to chance, methinks.
Oh, biodegradable!
That's it!
Breakfast is served, your majesties.
Ah, Maisie, my dear, we are not royals.
Speak for yourself, Honey Muffin.
Well, it appears your royal presence is requested.
Yeah?
That Inspector Sharp and young Paddy are here again.
Taking their time, those two. Who hired them?
I did.
Yes, well, they want to talk with the lot of you.
Nosy buggers.
I agree. That Sharp and Paddy boy should learn to respect our privacy.
I meant Josephine and Harry. The two are poking round my room.
Ha ha ha, we called it!
You've got every single one of Mr. Beremy's books, Auntie. How could you be so cruel to me and Mama about them?
She's a dirty hypocrite is why.
Harry!
The impertinence. Do you honestly think I derive any pleasure out of those filthy novellas?
Most certainly.
How dare you slander me, child? Why, I read those books out of my divine duty to report the sins of the deceased Beremy to the Almighty. I must note every detail of his devil work.
And I bet you do. Now, should I let Sharp and Paddy in? They've been waiting outside for some time.
They want to talk to us now?
Will it take long? Only Holmes Under the Hammer is on in an hour.
I'm sure it'll be a quickie. Not the downstairs lot, though, I'm afraid. Scram you two.
Achoo!
At least now we're spending time together as a family.
Good morning. Always wanted to make an entrance like that.
And what brings you two here yet again?
Stanley, dearest. They're just doing their job.
Yeah, Dad.
Respect thy elders.
I'm just saying there's a potential murderess living under our roof. And so far nothing has been done to apprehend her.
Murderess, you say?
You sure it's definitely a female?
Well, it's probably Marilyn.
Ah, your money's on Marilyn, I gather.
She's an absolute flirt. Flirting with all
She
the
has
men in
no
that
taste
family.
in men,
I
none
wouldn't put
whatsoever.
anything past her.
She's in cahoots with Jeremy.
She's been looking pretty shifty recently.
One at a time, please. Though I must remind you that at present, the investigation's ongoing. No one in this room has been eliminated from suspicion.
Are you calling me a suspect? I am the respected one of the Ford family.
You take this one, my boy.
I am renowned in
a murderous
Upton.
man in my body.
Shut up!
Thank you. Now then, I'm sure you're all tired from mourning Mr. Beremy.
Some of us, maybe.
And rest assured, we are, still a fair bit away from getting to the bottom of this. And if we all work together, we could be done in time for Pop-Tarts. Take it away, Paddy.
Okay, people, are you ready?
Ready for what?
Ready to be interrogated?
Oh, for goodness sake.
God, it's too much!
Shut up, Josie!
But I'm scared!
Why are you scared? Did you kill Mr. Beremy?
No, I did not!
Can you prove
Can you prove it, lass?
No,
This is outrageous! Our local MP shall hear of this!
Stanley, you tit, for the last time you are the local MP. I mean, sweetheart.
Oh, cut it out, Mother. We all know you and Dad can't stand each other.
Excuse me, I'm interrogating you all here. Now, where were you all last Saturday night following the last dinner with Jeremy Beremy?
Here.
Bit more specific, please. Where in the grounds were you and what were you doing?
You first.
Me?
It'll all be over soon, dear. Just answer the question.
What was that? Bit louder, please.
Okay, Paddy, calm down. Have a jelly baby.
Sorry, Auntie.
I was in the dining room.
What? all night?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I mean, I can't take any more of this.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Josie!
Oh well, this is just perfect.
Alas, I may be of some assistance.
You what, hun?
At least, I can confirm both Josephine and Harry were indeed in the dining room till very late that night indeed.
Intriguing.
You want to elaborate on that?
Child, there is really no need to shout. We are in one room.
Good point. How exactly were they in the dining room?
Till I came down at precisely 11:35 to tell the rascals to go to bed.
Well, that's interesting.
How so?
I'm afraid we cannot disclose that just yet. Remember, you are all still suspects. Oh, calm down. Sharon, what were you doing that night?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, I am a woman of the Lord. How could you suspect me?
You do seem to despise the late Mr. Beremy, possibly more than anyone else.
Of course I did. The man was an abomination, and as I am the godliest soul among us here.
However, you do seem to be providing an alibi for your niece and nephew, not the usual tactics for the guilty.
Yes, I am devoted to the path of righteousness, and I feel that to withhold information is to lie, and to lie is to disobey the commandment of the Lord.
As would be to kill.
Indeed. If you must know, after the meal I went straight to my room, and there I remained until 11:35, as I said.
What were you doing?
Full disclosure, I was reading the works of the deceased Mr. Beremy.
Ha! Of course you were! You shouldn't trust her, detectives! She got kicked out of the convent, you know!
Stanley!
What slander!
Hey, enough, children. Stanley, why are you trying to undermine your sister at a time like this exactly?
When you seemed so certain it was Marilyn as well.
Well, one cannot know these things for certain.
Anyway, I was so engrossed, in a disgusted way of course, in the literary filth, that time simply flew. But then all the shouting and hollering became too much to ignore.
Shouting, you say?
Yes, from both this miserable pair and their Satan spawn.
Hey!
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds a tad harsh.
My babies were fighting about the dinner incident when I left them after the meal. Emotions were very high, bless them. Harry was upset that Josephine had let slip his little mistake when she revealed Mr. Beremy's book idea.
Yes, well, the little lambs wouldn't let the matter drop all night. I stormed downstairs to tell them to cut it out lest the Lord strike them dead with a lightning bolt from the heavens. And then they went up. I have that authority.
And then?
And then I followed about 10 minutes later. Alas, the nibbles had not been touched and I had grown snacky.
Fair.
Did you hear or see anything suspicious?
Well,
I think Sharon's said enough.
You'll get your turn, sir. For now, shut your damn cake hole.
On my way up, I got a glimpse of my dear brother going up the stairs to Marilyn's annex.
I knew it! You're having an affair!
Don't be preposterous!
So this is why you try to silence your sister's truth-bombing. A fool's errand, Mr. Balls. The truth always out.
Yeah, I taught him that.
This is outrageous. Her word against mine. What about Sharon's alibi?
Her story seems to fit with everyone else's so far, but I am a reasonable man of 11 and a half. Did you or did you not go to Marilyn's annex at, let's see, it would be 11:45?
Well, yes, technically.
You see?
And what business had you there?
Okay, fine. Before you say anything, nothing happened. Sugar muffin. Don't tell me you're taking that Jeremy's side.
His name's Jeremy, Stanley, and Mr. Beremy to you shows some respect.
Why, is he dead or something?
Don't say something so dreadful! Mr. Beremy is twice the man you could ever be. No wonder he thinks you're ridiculous.
He thinks you're ridiculous too, you cougar.
Only for being tied to such an awful husband and crazy household.
Well, you clearly hate me. I might as well leave.
Take Marilyn with you.
Maybe I will.
Come in?
Marilyn, my dear. I see you found your coat.
Oh,
Never mind that. There's no time to waste.
Why, what's happening?
Our moment has come. Finally.
Oh boy.
My wife has given us the window of opportunity we've been craving these last few weeks. You felt it. I know I felt it.
Mr. Balls,
I can't believe this is happening.
I guess I should have seen it coming.
So true, clever Marilyn. We're written in the stars, you and I. Now make haste. We travel light.
Travel?
We are eloping, my dear.
No, we are very not.
Where, you ask? Why? Wherever the moonlight shall take us. Wait, what did you say?
I am not going anywhere with you, Mr. Balls. I'm sorry if I ever gave you the wrong impression, though I am pretty sure I did nothing of the sort. But you are very much mistaken if you think there is anything between us. Look, let's just draw a line under this, why don't we? You and your family have been very kind letting me stay. You don't know how grateful I am. But tonight's been a bit of a shake-up for everyone with the whole Jeremy thing.
Ah, it's Jeremy, is it? Of course!
What? No!
Of course, I'm forgetting. You two were lovers back in London. I bet you're the reason he's here. I bet you helped him with his little research project.
That's not the case at all. I know it's a weird coincidence, the two of us being here.
Huh. I should have seen through your womanly wiles. Now I know better. I'm no fool. Good night, Marilyn.
Christ on a bike.
You've given us quite a lot to think about. Thank you. Filma, I assume you also spent the night in your room?
That is correct.
Smashing. Okay, now tell me this. If you were also sure on Marilyn being in league with Jeremy, why do you think she killed him?
The relationship turned sour.
Well, every day is a constant struggle for me not to kill my spouse, so...
Oh, well, I never would have guessed. I say you're doing a very good job of killing me slowly.
Yikes, I'm fed up with this.
My thoughts exactly. Let's go outside. Now, remember, Paddy, we know that Jeremy Beremy was murdered out here at 11:35 p.m, unbeknownst to the Ballses by the sounds of it. And anyway, they can all support each other being inside and otherwise engaged.
Yeah, and Mr. Balls mentioned Marilyn having found her coat. Do you reckon she made up losing it in case anyone saw her?
Case gets worse against her each day. It may be time to contact Sergeant Connolly.
Yeah, but she also said she was walking until 11:43 in fairness.
She could be lying though, Paddy.
So could the rest of them.
But hold on. Did you not time yourself running from this very spot to Marilyn's room the other day?
I did.
Well, this could be significant, Paddy. Possibly not enough on its own, I'll admit. But please tell me you wrote it down.
I did.
Hallelujah!
It's in my notebook. Oh, hang on. I left it somewhere.
What an anticlimax.
Don't worry. I know where it is.
Oh, hello again, little lad.
Maisie, aren't you a sight for sore eye? It's an absolute...
madhouse up there, I know. Here, I dare say you've earned some pudding for all your hard work.
Amen. Cheers, doll. I mean, Mrs...
Eat up, little lad.
Bless you. Boy, this case is really turning out to be a tough one.
You don't say.
I do say. No one seems to have been at the right place at the right time, and everyone seems to have some sort of dodgy alibi.
Yeah, like Mr. Ball's trying to elope with Marilyn, silly man.
How did you know about that?
About what?
About Mr. Balls and Marilyn. He literally just told us that.
Oh, well, I am the resident cook, and pretty much the housekeeper and butler since Mr. Parsons and Mrs. Cruz retired.
Oh yeah, I was wondering why there was no butler.
I know all the comings and goings of this house, little lad. Nothing escapes me.
I guess that makes sense. Oh yeah, I remember why I came here in the first place, apart from seeing you, of course. Have you seen my notebook?
This here?
That'd be it.
Here you go.
I've got to go!
Well, what are you two staring at? Back to work, the pair of you.
I wonder where that Paddy has got to. Maybe I shouldn't have left it without him. He's scared of the dark. Oh, Paddy, there you are. I was worried sick.
I've cracked it, Auntie.
You what?
I know who the killer is.
Oh my God, Paddy. There's no time to lose.
There's no rush, Auntie. I've got this all under control. We need to assemble everyone, upstairs and downstairs. Oh, and also Sergeant Connolly, for the first thing tomorrow morning.
I guess you haven't failed me yet, my boy. Now come on, let's get out of here.
Oh my gosh! This is it! Harrison, this is it!
This is what?
Didn't you hear the little boy Paddy? He says he's cracked it. I'm so close to getting out of this place. This purgatory, or whatever it is.
It's called the Closure Center.
Yeah, that too. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Come on. What is it?
It's just... I don't know, forget it. I'm being silly.
No, out with it. Come on.
I'm just going to miss you, as all. I've really come to see you as a friend. Maybe even a best friend? But don't tell Edith I said that.
Oh. I see. I mean, I can always come back to visit, right?
I think I could ask the manager for you.
I like that.
So would I. But okay, let's get you prepared for the afterlife, shall we?
Amen.
Cabbage! Cabbage! Cabbage!
Not on my watch, you swine!
Huh?
Ah! Take that! And that! And finally, take that!
I surrender!
Good. Now get thee gone. Victory is mine. I, Gareth, protector of all cabbages.
You're listening to Murder in the Cabbage Patch.
An original brought to you by University of Sheffield Light Entertainment Society.
We do comedies, plays and pantos twice a year.
And all proceeds go to charity.
This year, we will be donating to SAYiT.
This is a Sheffield-based charity aimed at helping young LGBTQ plus people in the city.
If you're enjoying the show,
please take a moment to donate.
Visit our Facebook page,
where you'll find a local giving link for SAYiT.
All contributions will be much appreciated. Thank you so much for tuning in.
This is it, Jez. The grand reveal. Ooh, everyone's here. Though this does feel like a bit of a squish. Well, at least no one can see us, so we don't have to make awkward small talk.
Yeah, I'm starting to like being dead. The sound of my own voice does me just nicely, thank you very much.
Yeah, well...
Sergeant Connolly, you're here too.
Yes, and don't forget our Lieutenant Smith.
Hello.
But then, who's protecting the cabbages?
Ah, well, remarkably enough, the Upton Cabbage crisis, as these past few days will no doubt be known in years to come, seems to have quite abated overnight.
Really?
I'm as surprised as you, but very relieved of that. Eh, Lieutenant?
Oh, things can finally get back to normal. I can finally see my wife and children again.
Well, I must say our boys at the Cabbage Front are true heroes.
Wish I could say that, madame, but we're just doing our job. Truly, there is a humble hero out there. Whoever dealt with this fiend, his or her identity will forever be a mystery.
Just got to get this little murder thing out of the way. Then it's Ibiza, here we come.
Good morning, all. I'm sure you all are wondering why we have summoned you all here together.
Is it not because you've worked out who the killer is?
And I am happy to tell you now that we have in actual fact cracked this curious mystery. Wait, how did you know?
Because you told us.
Eh?
He sent an email saying, guys, I cracked it.
Yes, I did actually, Auntie.
Oh, okay. Personally, I prefer an element of surprise. You must develop your own professional groove, I suppose.
Should I take it from here?
Yes, please. I'm growing a beard here.
Right. Jeremy Beremy was killed instantly by a blow to the head last Saturday night, last seen at the eventful dinner when he was told to leave after you found out about his plans to write a satire about you all. Surely this would bound to have triggered the murderer inside one of you. Mr. Balls, for you, it was the last straw coming from the men who undermine your masculinity under your own roof. Mrs. Balls, you felt personally betrayed, as did you, Josephine, the buddling writer who only wanted Mr. Beremy's approval. Harry, Mr. Beremy tarnished your parents' perception of you by telling them about the sugar in London. And plus, you saw him as rival to Marilyn's affections, as did your father. And Gareth. And Sharon, you just bloody hated the guy.
Correct.
Now, in this pool of bitter ballses, we have our killer. Right?
Right. Wrong.
Or not necessarily, anyways. Obvious motives are an important starting point, but so are the facts. Jeremy was found the next morning by Josephine in Gareth's vegetable patch. At this point in time, either of those two could have been obvious suspects, but it was vital to know the time of death.
Through heroic endeavours that would make any man shudder, I acquired this vital information from the morgue.
By ringing them up.
By ringing them up!
And we found the time of death to have been between 11:30 and midnight, with supported evidence from Gareth, who heard a scream while on the phone to his sister.
Oh, how is Maureen doing, Gareth?
She be doing right dandy, ma'am.
We can pinpoint this to precisely 11:35 p.m. Yes, 11:35 p.m. And where was everyone then? It soon became clear that most of the Ballses here, if they were telling the truth, could have not done the deed. Sharon, you were coming from your room to the dining room, where Josephine and Harry had been all night. Mr. and Mrs. Balls, you too were also otherwise engaged in your room, with Mr. Balls only emerging 10 minutes later to try his luck with Marilyn.
Oh, Dad! Oh, cop on, son. She's too old for you.
And too young for you, and Gareth.
Oh, for crying out loud. I'm gay.
What?
You heard.
Here's my number.
I think we can all agree Marilyn is looking pretty darn cool right now.
Right again.
But if truth be told, I'm afraid Marilyn became the main suspect.
Indeed. It meant we had to revert to what we hoped to be purely circumstantial evidence from Gareth. That of the figure seen moments after the scream running towards the house. A figure wearing a red coat.
Well, then it must have been Marilyn.
I swear I didn't do it. I wasn't there either.
Marilyn maintained she was out on her walk, returning to her room at 11:43.
She could have killed him, then gone straight up to her room.
Possibly. However, Marilyn also maintained she did not have her coat that day.
Ha! Preposterous! When I went up to her room at 11:45, I saw that seductive red coat of hers lying on her bed.
So that's that then. Case closed. Could have not been anyone else, right?
Right!
Wrong!
What
nonsense? Oh, come on. Marilyn had the coat. It must have been. It couldn't have been anyone else. What are you talking about?
Not necessarily. Marilyn was still is in a precarious situation, admittedly caused by Jeremy Beremy himself. Marilyn has his flatmate losing her life's work when the sugar gang stormed the place and forced the pair of them out of their home. As chance would have it, they found themselves through different routes into the same stately home in Uptonshire.
Chance, my.
Admittedly, Marilyn here too has a motive as much as any of you here, and together with being an outsider of fluctuating popularity,
Satan woman,
my queen,
she is the perfect scapegoat.
Poppycock! You must have been besotted as some of us were, lad. It's all very noble giving this woman the benefit of the doubt.
But if she didn't do it, who did?
I'm glad you asked, Mrs. B. Who else would have done it? Someone who was unaccounted for this whole time. Someone who has earned our trust and thus far dodged our sharp eye. Someone who makes banana crumble.
What? You mean?
Yes, Josephine, it was Maisie.
And what proof do you have, little lad?
Oh, this little lad is proof. The first lies in the timings. My suspicions were first raised when you somehow knew of Mr. Ball's excursion to Marilyn's room. I had a hunch, but I had to see that hunch was feasible. Auntie Sharp had me time how long it took to run from the scene of the crime to Marilyn's room, remembering the figure in red was specifically seen to be running. It took me exactly 5 minutes. I'll remind you all now, in any case, Marilyn claimed to be walking and told us before she knew the significance of it that she had arrived back from her walk at 11:43. If Marilyn had been seen running back, she would have entered her room 3 minutes earlier, at 11:40.
Oh, come on! She might not have been as quick as you.
True, though I'm only, and now, let's not forget, a little lad. With an open mind, though, and the dispute over the red coat puzzling me, I investigated further the possibility that somebody else could have been running with the red coat, running to its owner's room to return it just in time to not be seen by them coming back from their late-night walk. I had no solid proof, but my suspicions against Maisie loomed even larger. The only way for her to have known about Mr. Ball's was if she, having returned the coat, waited in the background to see if the coast was clear.
But what solid proof do you have against my dear friend Maisie?
I shall tell you. The next bit of proof was quite literally in the pudding. Or, I guess, the pudding was in the proof?
Pudding, Paddy.
Maisie's infamous banana crumble. I was set on developing on this lead, if I could even call it that at the time, that I set out to examine every bit of evidence I could. That meant poking around people's rooms. Sorry about that. But detective spurks.
Go on.
So, I start with Marilyn's red coat. And what did I find inside that sleeves and pockets? Crumbs and bits of mouldy banana.
Oh, Christ, Marilyn, do you not wash your clothes?
It's been a stressful week, don't judge.
The remnants of the pudding that would only have been transferred so extensively onto such a garment if it was worn by the baker herself. Of course, you all had pudding that night, but I gather none of you really touched it.
Not a morsel.
Which I really don't get. That crumble is perfection. What's wrong with you all? Anyways, that had me convinced. But to be perfectly sure, I swiped the fingerprints from the sleeves and pockets, and then of those of Maisie's oven gloves.
What? All last night?
Yup, it was a long one.
Good lord.
The two were a perfect match, so I wasted no time in calling you all here for this morning before finally going home to bed, where I contemplated how I, Paddy Sharp, had played a part in bringing justice to Upton.
Well, well, well. I never. Fair play, little lad. You got me.
What? Maisie, you're telling us this is true?
Yep. Arrest me, coffers.
Well, this is surprisingly easy.
You're not putting up much of a fight.
Oh, I'm tired of this madhouse. It's gotten even madder since this whole thing began. I think prison will do me good. I'd be around like-minded people for a change. I'm sorry, little lad.
Wait a moment, Maisie. Why did you kill Jeremy? What did you have against him?
Yeah, what did I do to you?
Uh-oh.
It's Jeremy, back from the dead!
No, it's obviously a ghost!
You guys can see me.
Of course they can see you. Jeremy, you know who your killer is now. You've got closure. Remember I told you closured spirits can be seen and heard in the living world, right?
No, you didn't tell me that at all.
Oh, well, my bad.
You mean they can see me, but not you?
I'm not a ghost. I'm an angel, remember?
Angel, mate!
You are an angel, Jeremy!
Angel of writing!
Oh god, the sooner I get out of here into the afterlife, the better. Look, miss, I have no clue who you are. Why did you kill me?
You always were a selfish, arrogant little boy, Jem.
Jem? Oh my god! Auntie May? I never knew that was short for Maisie.
You never interested yourself in things that didn't revolve around you. All take and no give. Even when I took care of you when your poor parents passed. Not to mention the fact that you stole all my novel ideas. But that I can overlook. Even when you didn't look me in the eye and recognise me at all while you were here, I thought, that boy, for all his flaws, is like a son to me, and I can forgive him the world.
Then?
But then, you refused to eat my banana crumble!
What?
I would have never thought that to be the motive.
That crumble is my life's work, and anyone who disrespects it is no son of mine. For it to come from you of all people broke my heart. And for that, you had to pay. So, I sent you that anonymous note after dinner, telling you to meet me at the vegetable patch at 11:30 p.m.
Oh, yes. I do remember that on the body. I didn't think much of it at the time, so I binned it.
You what?
Don't worry. I recycle.
And I should have guessed you'd be 5 minutes late. I waited in the darkness, planning to knock you out with my rolling pin, before dragging you into the woods to force-feed you banana crumble, before finally putting you out of your misery. But I accidentally killed you on the first blow. I don't always know my own strength. I then realised Gareth was awake in his shed, so I legged it back as Paddy so eloquently described. It was a foolproof plan, or so I thought.
Hang on, so when you bumped into me when I found his body the next day, you weren't actually going out shopping?
No, love, I wasn't. I had planned on disposing of the body, and to be honest, I'm amazed it wasn't game over there and then. I still don't know how you missed that massive body bag I was carrying.
Oh, Josephine.
I thought it was an extra large shopping bag.
Well, if that's everything, I guess you can take this one back to the station, Sergeant.
I think so too. Come on, Lieutenant. Maisie.
Wait!
What?
Maisie's supposed to say, and I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for that meddling Paddy and Sharp, or something.
What? Like someone off Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not saying that.
Come on, you.
I think you owe someone an apology.
Finally, some recognition of my trials.
Oh, well, I meant Marilyn.
Well, maybe. But first, can we deal with the fact that there is a ghost in my living room?
Ah! Oh, yeah. I nearly forgot. Nice to finally meet you, Mr. Beremy. Can't say I've heard the nicest things, but the pleasure of serving you justice is all mine.
Well, it's mostly mine, really.
And I am eternally grateful. Get it? Never mind. To you, Ballses, and also Marilyn and Gareth, I must say I'm sorry. Sorry for everything. Sorry for
being an absolute knob.
Harry!
No. He's right. Absolutely so. But then again, I'm dead. So that more than covers it, in my opinion. Now, if you allow me, I shall ascend into the heavens. Up, and away I go!
Goodbye.
Good riddance.
Goodbye!
So long! This is taking longer than I thought. Yeah, that's odd.
Mate.
It must be faulty.
Either that or...
Or what?
I don't think you're going upwards, buddy.
What? How?
I guess you were basically too much of a prat when you were alive.
Shoot.
What's wrong? Not going to heaven or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Well, I for one am not surprised.
Unlucky there, Jeremy.
Yeah, well, don't mind me. I'll sort something out.
I'm sorry too, Jeremy. I did nothing wrong, but it's a shame you died before you could redeem yourself like Ebenezer Scrooge. I, for one, shall embark on a new life. You coming, Millie?
Oh, yes, please. Goodbye, Balls family. Goodbye, Gareth. Goodbye, Sneezy Pete.
Everyone's leaving us.
It's as if no one likes us.
Ah, now before we leave...
Yes?
You'll need to pay us.
Ah, and how much will that be?
£500 in cash, s'il vous plaît, and some jelly babies. I have run out.
And, when do you want that by?
Now would be good.
Well, you see, you two.
Whiskins.
Ah, how unfortunate. Ready, Paddy?
Ready.
So, if I can't go up, does that mean I'm going down?
No. If you were truly one of the devil's own, you wouldn't have even made it into the closure center.
So there isn't a place for me?
There is always a place for you, Jeremy.
Where is it?
Right here, Jeremy. With me, Edith, Bobby, and Simon here.
You mean I'm stuck here forever?
Would that be so bad?
No. No, it wouldn't.
You're one of us now.
Always and forever.
We love you, our kid.
This feeling. It's beautiful. What is it?
Hope?
Happiness?
Friendship.
Love.
Love.